Hey, also this is the Forest's Bloodline event. This is an Earth Slayer event and Chaotic Killer. So this is my main Slayer team. It's not spectacular, but it's not too bad either. I just need to replace a couple of the cards on the team with better cards that I don't unfortunately have. I have also made up a Water Slayer team. This hits slightly harder than the Earth Slayer team. Then a Commander team as well. That's just an alternative option. So let's talk through the Earth Slayer team. Terrors Unleashed is the first card. This only increases Earth Slayer attack and not by much, so I would like to replace it with a different card. It does have Revive on the card though, so that's something. Druids of the Feral Heart, the event ultimate form. A big increase to Earth Slayer damage. When ambushing, it's even higher, making it a very strong card. Earthen Drakes. This is another card I would like to replace with a better hitting card. It only increases self-damage by 150%, but it is the best I currently have available. Gods of Ire. This is a pretty decent card. A straightforward increase to Earth Slayer damage by 200%. Plus does have a cleanse as well, you can see here, which is always nice. Then Prosecutors of Prosperity. This is actually a decent card. The ambush increase to Earth Slayer attack is pretty good. And I'll probably keep this on the team even if I get better cards. Just because it's 2000% to attack, which is actually pretty decent. Then for the relics. Here's the first relic on the team. It's just an older arcane relic. Second one here, an immortal relic. Third one here, a chaotic relic. That alone breaks all of the shields, which is good. Then an immortal relic here, and finally at the end, just an old generic Earth Slayer relic. Now to move on to the next team. This is my Water Slayer team. A slightly better team than the previous team, but I would like to try and make a proper Earth Slayer team that can do more damage than my other teams at some point. That's why I've already built up some sort of template for what I want to do. Leviathan's Hairs is the first card. This does increase attack, but it is a decent increase to attack, as you can see here. Plus has the passive and creates power gems as well. Holiday Saints, kind of an essential card for Water Slayer. A 500% damage buff. That's to any water card. Sovereigns of the Dance. I'll just go back to that so you can see now. 5 pink stars, 5 times awakened. This is always going to do good damage now. Increases self-damage by 300%. Creates water gems. Still arguably my best Water Slayer card, may I add. Hometown Heroes, a good increase to Water Slayer damage, you can see here. Then Frontier Titans, again, another decent increase to Water Slayer damage. Holiday Saints is the Chaotic Killer card for this team, and for the relics. So this relic has quite a few pink stars as well, thanks to the Drill Fist offers, where we could buy 3 of each item rather than 1. So that's on the team. Then an older arcane relic as my second. Here's a chaotic relic to help break the shields. An immortal, and there should be another chaotic relic at the end. Yeah, there we go, to finish breaking the shields needed for the prismatic bosses. The Earth Commander team at the end should only really be used if you don't have too much else. I'll talk through it anyway. First card is only Executioners. A decent increase to Earth Commander damage. Plus has a revive on the card as well. And the Last Stand as well even. Leporine Liberators. This is an essential card for Earth Commander teams now. 570% damage buff to 1 hero. Plus also has passive and creates power gems, which is always nice. Brothers in Banditry. This card does dispel blind, making it quite useful actually for this event. Also quite an older card, but still pretty decent. My best hitting card for Earth Commander. United Shardbearers. Another very old card, but This does actually have a counter for Power Gem Silence, and that's useful against one of the types of bosses. Then Potent Pathfinders at the end, a decent increase to Earth Commander damage you can see here. So there we go, that's that team anyway. Then for the relics, here's the first relic, a Beast relic. Second one here, that helps break the shields. I think that alone actually breaks all of the shields. So that's all I need for this team with the chaotic relics. Then here's the third one, fourth one here. Then finally, at the end, another chaotic shield breaker relic. Not really sure if I need that, but I have it on the team anyway. So that's the teams I have available for this event. Earthslayer is not my strongest event by any means, but I should do okay from focusing on umbrals and multi-bosses. So let's get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, and here's the actual event. My Earth team kind of needs another damage boosting card, so it won't be super effective. As such, I'm going to test out on an umbral rather than a prismatic boss. So let's start with the Earth team. You can see it here. I think the first card is the one I need to replace on this team, then it would be a pretty good team. My Earthslayer cards are, unfortunately, rather limited. Let's see how much damage this does, though. Alright, so here we go. A pretty straightforward deck. There's 3 ambush cards, though, so after the first attack, it's not going to be that effective. Left to right, though, seems like the best activation order. So let's give this a go and see what sort of damage I end up doing. So just match the highest power gems in Slayer. Don't match anything else. Then watch the damage. Yeah, that's not too bad, actually. 130 Q across all the cards, maybe? But after that first attack, it's not going to do too much. I'll just show you so you can all see. It's dispelled Power Gem Silence for the event ultimate form, and that's always very, very nice. The other defender skill this time around is Blind. Both tricky skills, but Power Gem Silence is far worse. Here we go, let's try this. Without the ambush cards, though, as I mentioned, damage won't be spectacular, but it might be alright. There's a couple of loose power gems. There we go, that's the damage without the ambush cards. So nowhere near as good. Let's quit out at this point. There we go. Alright, so I use my commander team to hopefully finish this boss off. You can see it here. Now, this card in the middle, Brothers in Banditry, you can see on the battle skill, if we go to here, I've scrolled past it, dispels blind and dodge, so that's useful on the bosses that have blind. If you are wanting to use a commander team, not so good against Power Gem Silence, but let's give this a go anyway. I took down a bit of the health just to test. This team does counter Power Gem Silence, well, some of the time anyway, so that could also make it useful. The card that counters is United Shardbearers. As for activation order, I think something like this is the best. Not 100% sure, but that's a pretty decent grid. 2 loose power gems. Let's see what the damage is like. 39.1 Q, so that's not bad. It's nowhere near as good as my Slayer teams, but it's a reasonable option if you don't have that many decent Slayer cards. Alright, and here we go with the Water Slayer team on a new boss. Still Power Gem Silence on the boss though, so it might be tricky. Let's see how I get on. Alright, and here we go. So I think again, just left to right will hopefully be effective. I'm expecting this to do more damage than my Earth Slayer team, if I'm being honest. Water Slayer teams have always been my most powerful, and this is actually a really good team. Several loose power gems as well, you can see at the top of the screen, so hopefully decent damage. Yeah, 113.7 Q. but Power Gem Silence, that may be a major problem here. I'm sure I'm about to find out. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's been dispelled. Nice, okay. So you can see from this, all the teams are okay against Power Gem Silence, which is always nice. Let's see if I can do another decent hit out and take down the boss. Hopefully I'll be able to. Right, see what sort of board I end up with. Oh, that's pretty much ideal. Then hopefully a few... No, nothing loose, so this won't be especially good. You can see, though, this team can take down umbrals, even though it's a Water Slayer team. So not a bad option at all. There we go, I think we're done with that. I can quit out. So several reasonable options, but nothing spectacular, unfortunately, this time around. Earth Slayer is pretty much my worst type of Slayer. You can see, though, I am working on my Earth teams, and eventually I will have something decent. Let's back out of here. Alright, so we have the ultimate Warden Vault back. I'm going to use my free token. Right, here we go. So this is the Warden I got from this. Which one did I get? There we go. A Light Warden. And it's soul as well. So that on its own doesn't really do too much, but you can get an Ultimate Warden from this. It's going to be quite expensive though, buying the pack, so entirely up to you if you want to do this or not. Now for the collection, it's been updated with a new collection, as you can probably see here. So this should be interesting. Let's go over to it. And here it is. There we go. You can see some different Legend Trials summoning tokens in here, plus the green hearts at the bottom. So slightly different. Let's go ahead and claim all of this. There we go, nice. That's that done. And there's the support coins, treasure trove. And slightly different in the guild collection as well. You can see nearer the bottom, there's a couple of different items. So there we go, that's that done. Now to see what it is this time around. Over to the Leagues page, and here it is. Strigith, Claw of Ruin, has a battle skill that increases self-damage, which is slightly strange for a Vanguard. There's the Defender's skill and Counter skill. So being able to block turn delay doesn't really help that much nowadays. Then again, putting that in position 1 will strengthen your other Wardens, so Vanguards are always useful for that respect. That's what it is anyway. Let's back out of here. Now to claim the random 6-star hero. Let's scroll down. Go and collect the support hero. Now go ahead and evolve that quickly. Right, there we go. Support hero has been evolved. What am I going to get this time around? Well, I'm about to find out. Oh, okay. That's actually half of an older ultimate form. So let's scroll down to where it is. Long way down. Yeah, very long way down. It is a very old one, but I'm going to go ahead and evolve it anyway. It might come in handy for the Spire at some point. You never know, you might need an extra pink star just to help with one of the stages. That's the main reason I evolved it. So back over to the Ultimates page. I've done all of that. Let's have a look at the event Ultimate form. Druids of the Feral Heart. So creates power gems. Has a nice increase to Earth Slayer damage. When ambushing, the increase is massive. So what you want to do here is either have 2 or 3 other cards that increase damage for all Earth Slayer heroes, and then 1 hitting card, or one of those cards that gives a massive boost to one card, if that sort of makes sense. Or you could try something like Metaverse Masters to boost up a hitting card with this card and the ultra rare that would likely have the damage boost. But there we go, that's what it is anyway. Basically, this deck is designed to kill bosses on the very first turn. As soon as you've used it, it gets a bit weaker. Not too much of a decrease though after the ambush, so still a decent deck even when the ambush has been used. And then if we go over to here, pretty sure the damage boost will be on Vilpo. Right, so there we go. It does have the damage boost and the ambush as well. So you could try multiple copies of the ultra rare with the event ultimate form if you had them. Then put a hitting card on the team and see what that does. That would be an idea anyway. But there we go. It is a nice increase to Earth Slayer damage, making it another really good deck. So I'm going to end the video at this point. I hope you found that interesting and helpful. If you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is always very much appreciated. I've included a previous video on the screen, plus a playlist. Plus you can also subscribe from here if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.